Hey, come on, what are you doing? Come on, out of there. Hey up, hey up, Dan. Hey up, Shane. Yeah, I'm a sad sack. Unfortunately, our lass is away, and these little beauties are too little to leave on their own. So I decided to go live. I'm well, Shane. Thank you very much. How are you, mate? Awesome to hear, Shane. How's the Larlin? I haven't seen him put a video out yet. I hope we get to see a little bit more of him on YouTube. Not down in the dumps, Dan. I'd scheduled the live, and I thought you just clicked on it and it would have just started itself. But I was waiting for myself. I couldn't figure it out. It's the first time I've scheduled a live, so I had to quickly knock it off. Ask Google, and it says, yeah, you've just got to start a live, and it automatically sorts itself out. So, Uncle Paul, hiya, mate. So yeah, I wasn't down in the dumps, mate. I was just a little bit confused because I'm thick as mince when it comes to doing stuff like this. Do my best to try and keep on top of all the people joining. When I say all, we've got 4. If you haven't said hi and you're in the chat, just drop a hi so I know who's in. And like I say, I'm babysitting these little cuties tonight. This is Obsidian, or Obi for short. And yeah, we're going to be talking camping, whether that's kit, locations, what I'm going to be getting up to in the near future, the long future, plans and stuff like that. Obviously, at the minute, I've only got my mates in, but if any of you guys have got any questions, then please do pop it in the comment section. And as always, I will be honest, I've said, ask me anything. So you are more than welcome to ask me anything. Hiya, Rachel. I'm good. Hope you are too, Ducky Egg. I've got my hands full with these little critters. They've been running around like little demons for the last half an hour, but they seem to have calmed themselves down a little bit now. What's everybody else up to tonight? Weather's pretty grim here in Cumbria at the minute. We've had some rain and some wind today. We've got the tail end of that storm hitting, but it's not terrible at the minute, but it's fairly gloomy out. Let's see if we can. There we go. Let's see if I can sit myself back a little bit. I've got the glasses on so I can read all the comments coming in. Yeah, any questions for me? Like I say, if you haven't introduced yourself, we've got Talias Travels. Hi, mate. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? Have you got any questions for me? Whether it's camping related, locations, kit, anything like that. I will start by saying tomorrow's video will be going live at 6 as usual. And I shouldn't really say this, but I've already thought it, and it's always the same when I think I've made a good video. But I think the video that's coming out tomorrow is the best video I've ever made, and I got to see in person just how awesome the North Air Ambulance helicopter service really is. So keep an eye out for that one. Shane's packing for a camp ready for next weekend. Where are you heading to, Shane? English woodsman still in Marmarist, living the high life. I know you've had a good holiday, mate, and it's good to see you getting out there and having some fun, mate. Oh, you going to the permission farm? Awesome, mate. Awesome. Many people going? Like I say, if you're in the chat and you haven't introduced yourself yet, please do so I know who's in. And if you've got any questions, just put them on the screen. I've said, ask me anything. So ask me anything and I will answer it truthfully. $450 permission farm. Wow. So are we talking hammocks, Shane? Are we talking tents? Solo? Are you going with the family? Are you going with mates? Yeah, Dan, I seen the video that you did when you walked up to that viewpoint, and it looked epic, mate. That sunrise was unbelievable, and you panned round. I seen all the mountains. It looks mint over there, mate. I've got a pretty big hike coming up as soon as I get chance to get out there. I'm going to be doing, it's a 15 miler, and it's taken in Scarfell and Scarfell Pike. But I'll be going up over Bowfell and a few others as well soon. I'm really trying to push hard to try and get as many Wainwrights done as possible. Now, I did have a plan for trying to camp every single Wainwright individually, but that was just taking far too long and I wasn't going to get it done. So if you're a regular viewer at the channel, you notice that I've been smashing out 6 and 7 Wainwrights per camp at the minute, which is definitely getting the fitness up there. Oh, just you and Ethan, mate. That'd be great. That'd make a good video for Ethan's channel, that, mate. So yeah, I've got some pretty good camps coming up soon, and I've also got my eye on another tent. I know I've swapped tents around recently, so I've got the Durston X-Mid 2 Pro, which is my lightweight summer one, and so far that's been a banging tent, so stable in wind, especially for a trekking pole tent. 560 something grams, so that's enabled me to get my pack weight right down. Talia's Travels, we are going to Helvellyn next weekend. Cracking mountain, mate. Brilliant walk. What would you say about Striding Edge? It's only going to be your 3rd wild camp. Yeah, personally, I did Helvellyn be quite a few years ago now, maybe 3.5 years, maybe 4 years ago. So I was still relatively unfit, and I didn't struggle too much with Striding Edge or Swirl Edge, because we walked up from Glenriddin, through Hole in the Wall, up over Striding Edge. You can walk right along the ridge, but there is easier paths to take, generally off to the right hand side, which makes it a little bit easier. Right at the end of Striding Edge, you have got a little bit of a tricky descent down what they call the chimney, and then you've got a steep walk up to Helvellyn Summit. Cracking view from the top. Also a brilliant place to camp. It's lovely and flat up there. It's a little rocky, but you should manage to get your tent up there, no problem. Or you can drop down via Swirl Edge and camp at Red Tarn. Once again, it is quite rocky. There's some big boulders there, but you definitely can get tents set up down there. So yeah, certainly for me, being reasonably unfit, I managed it. Chris Anderson out in Rydal now. Nice, mate. Sat in the tent. Perfect. Unfortunately, no camping for me this weekend, mate, because I'm on my own at the minute. And these little bobbers are too little to leave behind. Fairfield Horseshoe. It's funny you should say that. I actually did that last weekend, and it will be next weekend's video. I'd already done a couple of them. I'd already done Nab Scar and Heron Pike, so I descended a different route. But it's a cracking route, mate. You'll enjoy that. John Boy Walton, hey up. All right, matey. And Fishing Caledonia, Rob. Nice to have you join us, mate. I hope you're fitting well. How's that fishing going, pal? But yeah, back to the Fairfield Horseshoe. Highly recommend that one. It's a cracking route up. Takes a little time to get to that first summit. I parked at the bottom of where I was descending. So I had a 3.5 mile hike before I started the ascent proper. But once you hit that first summit, they come in thick and fast and you can really tick them off. Yeah, still off the drink, Rob. It's coming up a year and a month now. Feeling loads better for it, mate. Kind of wish I'd done it years ago, to be fair. It's made a massive difference. Not just to the old noggin, but weight-wise as well. I'm down to bang on 12 stone. That's obviously helped with diet and training as well. But yeah, that's it. I've decided to make that a permanent feature now. So that's me teetotal at the minute. And we've got another one here. And this is Moth. Because he looks like a little moth with his whiskers. Look how cute he is. Still not used to being handled so much. They don't like being picked up and held for so long. But yeah, Rob, are you still working at Jenks, buddy, or have you moved on to fresh pastures? Cheers, John boy. Yeah, it was something that I knew that I needed to do for a good while. But yeah, the old noggin got that bad, and it was just a matter of time. And once I'd got the 3 months done, I felt a massive difference. The biggest difference was 6 months, and then there's just been no looking back. Still there, mate, eh? Well, I hope things are going well for you there. Hope Hespin Wood is still thriving without me. I do still keep in touch with Martin there, so yeah, I do get to hear everything that goes on, mate. Right, we're up to 8. Still, I don't think I've had everybody introduce themselves, so please do introduce yourself. And like I say, if you've got any questions, camping related, kit related, locations, you know, what I've got planned and stuff, please do stick them in the comments and I'll answer them for you. The kittens have decided to wake up. If you hear any strange rattling noises or squeaking noises, they're enjoying a playtime. Yeah, cheers, John boy. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really struggle. Didn't really struggle with the drink. I never was an alcoholic. I never, had to have a drink to stabilize myself. It was just, once I had one drink, that was it. I do still vape, and that is something I am working really hard on, John. And it is way, way, way harder than the drink. But yeah, thank you. It's a big achievement for me. Fishing Caledonia, warm sleep mats. What are you buying? So for the last 2 to 3 years, I have been using the Sea to Summit Etherlite XT Extreme, which has been nothing but superb. It is a little bit big and bulky and heavy, so it takes up a little bit more space in the rucksack than I wanted. But it's extremely comfortable and it's extremely warm. I've recently purchased the Nemo Tensor, Extreme, and it's the first one where I've got a long, wide sleeping mat. Pack's a lot smaller. It's almost half the weight of the Cedar Summit, and that is also extremely comfortable and very, very warm. Come on, you, get off the tripod. Come on. You cheeky little rascal. Say hello. Yeah, so my 2 recommendations for a nice, warm, comfortable sleeping mat would be the Cedar Summit Etherlite XT Extreme and the Nemo Tensor Extreme. Cheers, Talias. I will definitely say hi to Dan for you. Oh, Fishing Caledonia, 2 years off the vape next month. Congratulations, mate. Like I've just said, I'm still on the vapes. Quit the drink, you know, no partying or anything like that. Unfortunately, I am still on the vapes and I am finding it really difficult. So if you've got any tips for getting off these horrible things, please do send them my way. Oh. Right, well, we've got some campers in the room and we've got some people that I haven't spoke to yet. Is there any kit that you guys would recommend for me? Obviously, I've not got a limited budget, so I tend to save up my pennies. Started off basic kit, OEX Fox 2, you know, OEX Traverse. I save my pennies and save up for what is now expensive gear. You know, I started off very cheap and I gradually replaced it with more expensive gear. But how about you guys give me some tips on some camper gear? Is there anything that you think I should be using? Is there anything you would like to see me using? At the moment, I am looking at another tent, as I started mentioning before. Not that I need another one. Between the QU Stormstar, which is my winter bomb-proof shelter, and the Durston X-Mid 2 Pro, I don't need another tent. But I am looking at a British company make called Otimos, and they do a Nomad X-Lite, which is like a very, it looks to me like it's been based on the Solo, but it hasn't got that flappy hat thing on the top, and it's sub 300 quid. One man, but a nice one vestibule with enough room the other side of you to put some gear. Has anyone ever heard of the Otimos Nomad X-Lite? Flextail Zero Pump. I've got the is it the Pump 2, whichever Flextail Pump 2 it is, V2, and I've been using that for years. Brilliant bit of kit. You can blow up your mat with it. It's a light, you know, but it's getting very tired now and it's taking quite a long time to blow up my sleeping mat. So I might have a look at that Zero Pump 2. Freddie's in the house. Yes, Freddie. Talias, I don't know why it would keep knocking you off, buddy. Freddie, new Flextail is amazing. Have you got the 2, mate? That's something that I do need on my list. It's a little bit down on my list for spending budget wise. You know, you're maybe talking 20-30 quid for those. But like I say, I'm going to keep using my Flextail until that dies completely. I do have a backup, but it's not as good as the Flextail. So once the Flextail that I've got dies, I'm going to be looking at another one. 1 ounce, wow, that's proper light, that. But yeah, any kit that you guys recommend to me, like I say, I am looking at the Otimos Nomad X-Lite 1-person tent, 4-season tent, which off the top of my head, I think it weighs 1.6 kilos. So it's got cross poles and a hoop pole across the middle that all clips on externally. John Boy, the pump sack that comes with the Tensor Extreme is amazing. Yeah, I did notice that it came with one. I'm not a big fan of the pump sacks. I find them a bit fiddly. Maybe that's me just being lazy, mate, but I like those little pumps. You just switch them on. I'm carrying something that's going to be a light anyways. But I might have to give that one a go next time I'm out. Have a go with that pump sack. Wilkes Outdoors, hi mate, thank you very much for joining me. Have you got any questions for me, camping related, kit related, location related, anything like that? You've got the Flextail 5 pump, right? So I've got the 2 and the 5 to look at. So looks like I'm going to be writing myself a list. Bear with me 1 second. Flextail 2 and 5 list. That's because I've got a memory like a sieve. But yeah, Wilkes Outdoors, if you've got any questions for me, that would be fantastic. I'm also considering starting a long-term fund. I've always wanted a Hilleberg. Solo, I won't fit in, but I do like the look of the Staika. So that's basically a 2-man bigger version of the Solo. You've got a vestibule and doors both side. Unfortunately, that one's rather expensive. I think to get it in this country, it's about 1,300 quid. So that's going to be a bit of a long-term project. John Boy, what drone do you use? I use the DJI Mini 2, which I've had for a number of years now. I had that, bought that as soon as it came out. There's obviously been quite a few upgrades since then. But mine is still working great, although the footage probably isn't quite as good as the latest model that's come out. But for now, A, I don't feel the need to replace it. And B, I can't afford to replace it because I'm too busy buying new tents and sleeping mats and stuff like that. But the drone footage is something that I do love getting in on my channel, and I'm always disappointed when I can't get that drone in the air. You've got the Solo 1. Yes, I have seen the Solo, and I've seen it in action in some very harsh weathers. I've been out with Chris from The Height of Life, and I've seen that tent put up with some absolutely shocking conditions. So yeah, unfortunately, with me being the Cumbrian Yeti, I'm too big to fit in a Solo. Wilkes Outdoors, what do you use to edit your videos? You use Canva, but there must be better out there. I film on the DJI Action 5 Pro, and I dump all the footage to my phone. I do all the editing on my phone in an app called KindMaster. It's a free download, but I think I've just renewed it, and I think it was 18 quid for the year, which gives you access to all the features, takes away the watermark. Fantastic bit of kit. It's what I've used since day dot, and I know it inside out. Highly recommend it. Freddie wants to know how the cats are doing. Growing and being very cute. Look at his little face. So cute. Yeah, ultralight's the future, John. I never shy away from carrying heavy, and I'm always heavier in the winter. But managed to get my full pack weight down to 2.75 kilos this summer, and I did quite a big hike. I think I did about 10-11 miles, and the difference carrying that little weight on my back made was absolutely fantastic. Shane, am I up for an island camp paddle across out in the canoe? 100%, mate. But Yetis don't swim, and if I fall in, you're gonna have to pull me out, mate. Yeah, 2.75 kilos, very basic. The main instigator to that was the Durson X-Mid 2 Pro at 569 grams, which is just a smidgen over half a kilo. You use the laptop for ease of transfer, Wilkes, so you must take the memory card out and plug it in the computer. I've got a USB-C to USB-C, so I simply plug the DJI into the phone, and it takes, I don't know, 5-10 minutes if it's big files to transfer it over to the phone, and it's a piece of cake. But yeah, highly recommend Kind Master. Jumbo, you need to get as light as you can because you've got a stoma. Mate, congratulations for keeping getting out and living with something like that, proving that illness and things going wrong with you doesn't have to be something that stops you going out. Like I say, I've been struggling with mental health right from the start, and with my low testosterone, you know, I've been battling on to try and keep doing the things that I do. And I think, you know, I, like myself, I've proved that you know, if you really set your mind to it and you're determined, you can still get out there and you can still enjoy the things that you like doing. And like I say, that lightweight, honestly, you know, previous to that, I think I'd got down to just under 4 kilos for the full pack weight, but 2.75 was crazy low, and it just felt like I was carrying nothing. Yeah, mate. What can I say? What can I say to that? It's always good to hear stories of people having their life saved. And obviously you work in mental health, you know just how debilitating that can be. You know, you fight demons in your own head that aren't necessarily always there for real. You know, and there was times where I was in a really dark place, you know, and camping and YouTube, you know, kind of made me occupy my time a lot more constructively. And the one thing that I didn't expect from starting my YouTube channel was to make all the friends that I have done. You know, we've got Adam in the Wild, we've got Camping Dan, we've got the Bewley Brothers, we've got Craig the One-Legged Wanderer, we've got, you know, I'm now camping with Dan, the English woodsman, who was the main guy who actually made me realize that I could start a YouTube channel and, you know, do it, because Dan is exactly how he is on the camera in real life. He is just a normal down-to-earth bloke that loves his camping, and he just gets out there and does it. So yeah, you can overcome all kinds of adversities and still, you know, live a very fulfilling life and get out and do what you enjoy doing. And that's why I like to push on the channel. You know, if I can get outside and go camping and go outdoors, you know, and start a YouTube channel and meet the likes of Freddie and, you know, Freddie Outdoors and Dan, Camping Dan, the Crumble Man, is a legend, you know, and all these other cool guys and girls, Wildcat Adventures, Amy, you know, and get up and stand on stage at Lavu on the Farm and talk about my mental health and talk about my adventures. You know, I mean this, anybody can get out there and, you know, go camping and do YouTube, and, you know, and it's not just the camping, it's that active lifestyle and making sure that your time is, you know, undertaken constructively rather than idle hands. You know, if you're not doing anything and you're not focused on something, it's very easy to go down the wrong paths and start making bad decisions and do bad things. So yeah, while camping and YouTube and making friends and, you know, getting sober and all that kind of stuff really has put me on a good path now, and I'm a lot happier than I used to be. John struggled to find a backpack with a hip belt. Yes, mate, I imagine that would be pretty difficult to work around. Osprey packs are a little bit heavy. You know, in the summer I'm using my Atom Pack CP 40 Plus, but my go-to pack for the winter is my Osprey Atmos AG65, and that anti-gravity system where it almost feels like it's floating on your hips. Unbelievable. Nicole SPTVX, hello, how are you doing? Have you got a question for me, camping related, kit related, location, or indeed if you're into the outdoors, have you got any advice for me? If you bear with me, I'm just getting a little bit thirsty. Yeah, like I say, if you've got any questions, please do ask away. We've almost hit the half an hour mark. So I'm going to try and keep it going for another half an hour, see if we can get an hour under the belt. Heineken Zero in the house. Wilkes Outdoors. Where is my next outing going to be? A very good question, mate. So, as I've already said, tomorrow's video is, in my opinion, the best video that I've ever made. I'll give you a clue. I set off from the Honister Slate mine, but I got to see the North Air Ambulance crew in real life. Those guys are amazing, and it was a full-on rescue. Weekend after that is the Fairfield Horseshoe, and then hopefully I'm going to be tackling, weather permitting, conditions permitting, via Bowfell, Scarfell Pike and Scarfell itself, with another couple of three thrown in to make 5. Have I got my list? I think I threw my... I'm doing Bowfell, Esk Pike, Great End, Scarfell Pike, then via Mickledore to Scarfell. That is the next one that I've got planned. Like I say, next time I get out, hopefully the weather conditions will allow me to do that. And I think that's about a 15 miler, so that is really going to push me. Cheers, Freddie. Yeah. Zeros are a lifesaver. Coming up on a year and a month. Nicole SPTVX, you work as a matrix. You'll have to forgive me. I am not sure what a matrix is. If you could let me know in the comments, that'd be great. Freddie, unfortunately, I will not be joining Camping Dan on his charity hike. This year, the place that I work have decided to change when I get my holidays. So instead of going April to the end of March, they decided to change it from January to the end of December. So I only got 9 months holiday entitlement, so I'm not lost out. I'm going to get the full entitlement on the 1st of January. I've just lost a little bit of flexibility, and unfortunately I haven't got any holidays left, mate. Armed police. Yes, I do see a bit of armed military police where I work. All respect to you, Nicole. Armed police, tough job, very tough job. Talias Travels, you're using the MSR Elixir 2. What are my thoughts? Right, never owned an MSR Elixir. Never owned anything MSR other than the Trail Shot water filter. For some reason, I don't like MSR tents. I don't know why. I have seen them. I've seen them in use, and both times that I've seen them in use in person, the poles have failed in wind. Fishing Caledonia, you're going to bail. Cheers, mate. Awesome to have you join me. Be great if we could catch up for that camp in Scotland and do a bit of fishing, live catch and cook. Give me a message on WhatsApp, mate. You've still got my number. Give me a message. We'll get that sorted. And yes, just dropping back to the MSR Elixir. Yes, inner pitch first. I do still have my original Fox 2. And although it is probably still one of my favourite tents, in a pitch first, especially in the lakes, the weather can change like that, so I prefer all in one. Nicole, pulled 2 people over today in one chase. Get in, you can't beat the chase. Back in the day, many moons ago, I might have been the one getting chased. Not necessarily by the armed police, but yes. Not for a very long time now. Awesome job, Nicole. Awesome. Right, JB269. Love the videos. I'm looking for a 4-season tent for winter. You got the Scarp one and the Lanshan Stormstar. Cracking tent, mate. Absolutely cracking tent. If you think the Scarp is sturdy, when you grab hold of it, the Stormstar is a different ball game. Obviously heavier, but there's more room in it. You've got bigger vestibules. It's a cracking tent. Highly recommend that one. It's not without its faults, but all the little faults that I've got with it are just little niggles. Right, we've got some more comments coming in. Nicole, what part of the United Kingdom am I from? I am from Cumbria, the best place in England. Other people may differ, but that is my own, and I am a very proud Cumbrian. John Boy, your other half's got the Fox too, and she loves it. My first tent when I got back into camping, and it's still a tent that I love to this day. It just works. I just wish that they would do a new version of it, which is all in one setup rather than in a first. We've got Egg Dop Barrow Lad here. Paul, you got any winter camps planned? Yes, I have. I am going to be smashing the hot tent camps this winter. I'm going to be doing an awful lot up in Scotland because the rules up there are different. I'm going to be camping on Loughsides. I'm going to be doing camping by ruins. I've got a few bothies marked. I'm going to be smashing them over the winter, and I'm going to try and do every other week one in Scotland and really put that Storm Star 2 through its paces up in the Lake District Fells this winter and really see what it's made of. Nice to have a local lad join us as well. Yes, Freddie, you can use pump sacks as dry bags, which does save a bit of space of carrying something extra. Like I say, it's probably down to me being lazy. I'm carrying a light that's also a pump. Yeah, I'm lazy. Nicole's from Hartlepool, not very far from me, and very, very, very close to camping down the Crumble Man. Wilkes Outdoors, yes sir, Cumbria is the best country. That's it. Deal's done between myself and Wilkes Outdoors. That's it. Cumbria has just been voted the #1 county in England. Nicole responded to a red call last night. Wow, that sounds pretty serious. I take it that is a full-on armed response and everybody go, go, go? And also, just going back what she said, Caps MB. Not sure what that is. I am thick as mince, so do excuse me. Talias, what sleeping bag would you recommend for a winter camp? Right, now that really does depend on your budget. If you are looking for an entry-level winter sleeping bag, that will do the job. Without a shadow of a doubt, the best value for money sleeping bag on the market is the OAX Leviathan EV900. Think full price in the shops, they're around about 160 to 180 quid. Keep an eye on the sales. I got mine for 99 quid. Probably the best 99 quid that I spent on my camping gear. I bought it when I very first started my channel, which is five and a bit years ago now. It is the one that I'm still using today. I have had that bad boy out in -12, -15, camping in caves, snow, and it's kept me warm. Granted, a few tips over the years with the heated gilet, sliding that in just to help warm the feet up quickly. But it is getting tired, and the next sleeping bag that I am looking at is the Sea to Summit Arctic sleeping bag, which is a lot of money. I think it's just over £1,000. So once again, I like to start off with my basic kit, put my pennies away very slowly, and then when that bank builds up, I know I've got a list of stuff that I want, and as soon as I get enough money to buy the item that's on the top of that list, that's when I go and get it. Obviously, there's a few little bits, comes and goes here and there for birthdays and what have you, but all of my YouTube money, and you know, for those of you that are watching, you know, for the likes of myself, which is a small channel on YouTube, you really don't make a lot of money. You know, I'm lucky if I make 70-80 quid every 2 months, but all of that money goes into a separate bank account for YouTube, and all of that money goes back into YouTube. But what I do find is it is very much worthwhile getting that basic kit. Like I say, I started off with the Fox 2 version 1, and I used that and I saved my pennies, and then once I got enough pennies, I got that really good top quality tent that I was after, which I think was the first scarp, the Sil Nylon scarp. And you know, it does work. If you slowly replace that basic kit with top end kit, you know, you gradually get there. It takes a few years. It's taken me 5.5 years to get where I am with kit that I've got now. And for any newbies joining, we're on the zeros, and those little kittens have gone very quiet. Come on, where are you hiding? Come on. Come on, Phoenix. Come here. Come and say hi. Oh. This is little Phoenix. Just about 9 weeks old. How cute is she? Oh, go and play. Right, have we got any more questions? Camping related. Does anyone want to know any locations? Does anyone want any? Is anyone looking for some kit that they're not sure what to buy? You know, not that I am the be all and end all of all camping knowledge, but I do know an awful lot about kit on the market, and certainly what I would like. Is anyone looking for any particular pieces of kit that they might need a little bit of advice on? Is there anywhere that you would like to see me camp? Anywhere in the UK? Is mountain camping your favourite thing that I do? Or do you like the hot tents, or do you like the hammocks? For some reason, hammock camping, I love my hammock. I sleep so well in my hammock. But the videos never seem to do so well on YouTube, and that YouTube algorithm really does throw me around the U-bend sometimes. I never can get the hang of it. But we'll keep going. Like I say, in my videos, it's all about the views, not the views on the channel. I love doing it. I love camping. I love making the videos. I love editing. And I love speaking to all you guys. And going live is something that I am looking at doing a little bit more often. Either making it a Friday night live before I go camping on the Sunday, or a Sunday night live when I return from the camping. But yeah, any questions or any bits of kit that you might need a little bit of advice on, please do shout up and let me know. Has anyone got any cool camping plans? Is anyone watching now got any cool places that they're going to go? Maybe somewhere that I might fancy going. You know, like I say, I do push myself very hard to get up and complete as many mountains as possible. And summit camping, it's probably on a par with hammock camping, because when you get that sunset and you get that sunrise, if you like sunsets and sunrise videos, tomorrow's video is definitely the one for you. I was trekked to both. Both of them are probably in the top 3 sunsets and sunrises that I've ever seen. And like I said, I got to see the North Air Ambulance in full action, and it really was a moment that made me stop in my tracks, and I had a bit of a lump in my throat. You know, it makes you kind of realise just how badly things can go wrong if it does go wrong when you're out in the fells. But yeah, if you've got any questions for me, please do shout up. And I would be very interested, if anyone watching that's into the camping, if anyone has heard of an English company called Otimos. I was talking about it a little bit earlier. It has been on my radar for a little while, but they have just brought out a one-man tent, which I am very interested in. And if anyone has one, I would be very interested in your comments on it. I can't figure out whether my comments have frozen Oh, we haven't got any coming through, but yeah, if you have got anything to ask me, please do get in the comments. I can't see whether this is all frozen or not. To be honest, I wasn't that bothered that I wasn't going camping today. Because the weather was supposed to be absolutely horrendous. We were supposed to have high winds and rain. The wind and the rain did start to pick up a little bit earlier, but it seems to have backed right off now. I'm just looking out the window. The trees that were moving not 10 minutes before are barely moving. So I'm kind of a little bit disappointed now. It might have been a good night to get out. Might have been a bit quieter than normal on the fells. I don't know how to refresh the messages. Let's have a look. All messages. Now we're talking. Right, just let me catch up on these messages. Well, hang on. I have had it on the wrong setting. That's what I've done. Right, hang on. Here we go. Right, let's catch up. Freddy Outdoors can't wait for the hot tent. Wilkes Outdoors is in Carlisle. Wow, right, now I'm getting all the messages. This is why, now I understand why I couldn't understand some of the stuff. 16 cops, 3 ambulance response and 4 ambulances. Wow, that would have been an exciting shift. JDB, thank you very much for the super thanks, mate. Honestly, very much appreciated. You're more than welcome me to ask me about my zero alcohol video. Please do drop me a message on Instagram. You're more than welcome to. I will answer it as soon as possible. Freddie would like to see me do some abandoned buildings. Yes, mate. There is a couple in Cumbria that I have got on my radar, but there are going to be most definitely some when I'm doing my hot tent camps up in Scotland. Eggdop had the Lanshan on Scarfell last week in a really interesting camp. Interesting, you tested the Otomos 700 quilt out as well. I am looking at quilts. And I have a lot of people that I speak to have said the Otomos quilts are very good. There's just not a lot of information out there on the Nomad. Robert Whitworth, evening from Frizzington, another Cumbrian neighbour. Hi mate, thank you for joining me. Nicole SPTV, I can't believe I missed all these questions. You and your 2 kids are planning on going camping any good places? Yes. Obviously, there's any god's amount of campsites within Cumbria. Obviously, depending on how old your kids are. But, certainly for a bang for buck, so reasonably short walk for absolutely cracking views, Silverhow above Grasmere. It's there's no scrambles or anything like that. There's one little bit where you drop over a river, but it's a steady ascent. Bowling Green flat on the top and views for days. Freddie Outdoors, what is your favourite camping clothing? Well, Freddie, it's funny you should say that because we do have some Cumbrian Lad Outdoors merch, which is now available. If you go into any of my videos, the last 3 or 4, there will be a link to the merch store in the description. So, Freddie, to answer your question, Cumbrian Lad Outdoors. But for anything off the shelf, I'm not fussy, mate, to be fair. If I like the look of something, I'll buy it. I wear cheap trousers, and I wear, you know, one of my favourite pieces of clothing. Bear with me. One of my favourite pieces of clothing, you'll have seen me wear this on many videos, is a Trespass fleece. It is super thin, but in the winter, because I burn quite warm when I'm walking, that just takes the edge off nicely and keeps that just a little bit of heated. So yeah, I'll buy whatever's the cheapest, whatever I like the look of. But obviously there's a lot of expensive gear out there as well. JDB, just want to say thanks when other bigger YouTubers are trying to diversify and move away from camping videos for the views. You love it how me and Andy Beaver stick to the basic camp. Mate, wild camping and the outdoors and YouTube saved my life. You know, I was in a bad place, and my love for camping and getting outdoors and mountains and woodland and encouraging other people to do it, and hearing back that I am encouraging other people to get outdoors and enjoy it is something that just brings joy to me. You know, for me, you know, you see, you know, I don't do many kit reviews. I do reviews, but I like to, it's once in a blue moon. You know, ironically, I am going to be doing reviews of the Durston and the Stormstar very soon, just to try and keep some videos coming, because I do have a couple of weeks where I can't camp. But for me, it's all about pushing the camping videos. It's what I love doing. It's what I love encouraging people to do. So thank you, mate. Talias Travels likes the fells. Yes, for some reason, when I'm in the woodland, them videos don't do so good. And my camping videos, when I'm on top of the fells, do seem to do better. Like I say, the YouTube algorithm's a funny thing, and you know, I've come a long way in this last year. I'm working on my thumbnails. I'm working on making better content. You know, I'm really pushing myself, and you know, it is difficult to try and catch that YouTube algorithm right. And you know, of course, everybody wants to be successful. It's not all about that. It's, for me, like I say, it's about getting out there and doing it first and foremost, and then encouraging other people, and then showing people and helping people. I get a lot of requests for, you know, what do you think of this bit of kit, or where can I go in this area? You know, I always help anybody out, but it, you know, everybody wants to make a nice video and they want it to do well. They want a lot of people to watch it. You know, you put a lot of hard work in, and hitting that YouTube algorithm is very tricky. Freddy Outdoors, do you ever get a mock hammock one day? Possibly. Although I have spoke to people and they are very comfortable, but they are quite big and bulky. And I'm a big fan of my normal hammocks anyways. Like I say, I sleep much better in my hammock than I do in my bed at home. Egg top bow fell. That's a big one. It's one that I've not done next. It's one that I've not done, so it'll be interesting to hear. If you do get it done, do drop me a private message. Be interesting to know how it is up there, mate. JDB, any tips for a short walk and a good camp around the Central Lakes? Yes, so Sale Fell, very easy, just by Bass Lake. The easiest walk to a camp that you will ever have. Nice views over Bass Lake. Silverhout, cracking. Castle Crag, cracking. Stone Arthur, cracking. Arthur's Crag, cracking. Arthur's Pike, brilliant. All in them Central Lakes, absolutely brilliant. Nicole, any place with a camping site? My two kids are coming. One's 4 and one's 6. So there's Waterside campsite at Ullswater. Very good, although it does get busy in the height of summer. And there's one that myself and Adam stopped at. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but if you scroll down my videos, a couple of years ago, it was the training for the Cumbria Way. And myself and Adam stayed on the campsite in Buttermere. and it's a fantastic little location. If you get to the back end of it, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Highly recommend that one. Freddie Outdoors wants to revisit Windermere very soon. Well, give me a shout, Freddie. We'll head up there for a camp, mate. I know a couple of spots. Wilkes Outdoors has a walk planned on the Newlands Horseshoe and camp near Dalehead. I've done that route. I did that route with Dan. It's a cracking route. That walk, because we did Cat Bells, Maiden Moor, High Spy, then we dropped down to Dalehead Tarn, and then we did the walk up from Dalehead Tarn to Dalehead itself, before moving on to some Hinescarth and another one. Anyways, that walk from the Tarn to Dalehead, take your time on that, mate. That is a cracking walk, but very difficult. Nightcat, it says Nightcap, but I presume that's the Nightcat 2-man. Cracking tent, massive tent. But just beware that if there's anything more than a good breeze, that tent will struggle. Because of the way that the straps are, if it starts to get wafted by the wind, those straps slip a little bit. So just be careful with that, mate. If it is windy, what I would suggest you do is pull the toggle all the way out, so it's right at the end so it can't slip, and then peg it down to stop any slippage on those, mate. Robert Whitworth, waiting on his bivvy to arrive. Then you're off to Ennerdale. Lovely area. I've only visited it once. A few miles up the river for your first wild camp. Nice, mate. You'll enjoy that. I do use a bivvy bag. I tend to keep bivvy bags more for when I'm doing like the caves and stuff like that. Sometimes in the middle of winter, I'll maybe take it with me for a little bit of extra insulation. But with me being the Cumbrian Yeti, they are a little tight for me. Planning for next year, multi-day canoeing on rivers and canals, camping along the way. I would definitely be up for a bit of that, Shane. Great. Are over quilts necessary? I've never used a quilt. I've only ever used sleeping bags. In the middle of winter, I've only ever had the OEX Leviathan EV900. But what I will say is, a lot of people make the mistake of leaving too many clothes on. The most clothes I will ever have on inside my sleeping bag is an underlayer, bottoms and top. For a sleeping bag to work, it needs to heat up from your body heat to then radiate it back and hold it in. Another little top tip is I've got a heated gilet, and in the proper depths of winter, I stick it on flat chat and I put that in the foot box of my sleeping bag, and I find that heats up my sleeping bag from the bottom. Keeps going most of the night, and that really does make a difference. All right. Hey up, Camping Dan's in now. Sorry guys, I'm trying to catch up as quickly as I can here. Camping Dan the Crumble Man, everybody head over. Camping Dan and Freddie Outdoors, drop them a like and subscribe. Two cracking lads. Adam Ward, are the atom packs brilliant for ultralight and getting the kilograms down for multi-day hikes? 100% they are, mate. There is lighter packs out there. Obviously, Atom Packs is made in Cumbria. I'm a Cumbrian lad outdoors, and I wanted to support them, but the lighter packs are considerably more expensive than the Atom Packs. So I would say the two biggest factors for me of being able to get my full camping rucksack weight down to 2.75 kilos is the Atom Packs EP40 Plus and the Durston X Mid 2 Pro. What I will say with the Atom Packs is you've got to be very careful with what you put in them. If you overfill them, because they've only got a light frame around the outside, if you overfill them, they bend like that, and that can rub your spine. You want to make sure that you're not overfilling them. Other than that, comfy and light. Robert's got rain in his part of Cumbria. Looking out the window now, yep, we've got no wind, but it is raining pretty hard. John Boy Weathers, SHYT in Wolverhampton. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not windy. One thing that really puts me off going camping is wind. I don't mind getting caught in it. But if I'm walking up in the wind and the rain, I'm setting up in the wind and the rain, then I've got to sit in my tent because it's windy and rainy. And then I'm packing up in the wind and the rain and walking back in the wind and the rain. That's not my idea of fun. Camping Dan's watching the Leeds match with Adam. Yes, Adam in the Wild, aka Adam's Rotten Rooms, in the house. Right, guys, I'm really sorry here, but I am trying my best to catch up with all these messages. John Boy, Pat Dickinson is a legend. I've watched a couple of his videos, and we've got Camping Dan, Adam, Freddie. I think all of these guys will back me up on this. As a content creator yourself, you're out filming a video, you're editing a video, you're uploading a video, then you're answering the comments and doing lives like we are tonight. And it's very difficult for me now to find time to watch YouTube. It's a very limited window that I have. Obviously, I've got my dad who's not been brilliant recently, and we've just got these little beauties. So yeah, it's hard for me to find time to watch YouTube. Hey Doc, first time user of a quilt, and the UL 700 worked a treat. It was summer, so I didn't need to do much. That's one of the joys about getting new kit, buddy. Like I say, got the Stormstar 2. I've had it out, I've used it, I like it. But getting out there and really pushing a new kit's limit so you know exactly when and where to use it is absolutely key. John Boy Walton, would I consider a group camp? Yes, possibly. I do group camps, although I find them very difficult to film and edit above 3 to 4 people. But it is something that I have considered doing with my subscribers. But also please bear in mind that I am going to be starting doing hill skills and wild camping Skillshare experiences. So I have stated on a couple of videos now that I'm going to be doing that. And not tomorrow, but next weekend, there is a big announcement in that video regarding something that I am doing, which should hopefully push the channel and myself an awful lot further. So keep an eye out for that. Psych Side and Quiet Side. I think Psych Side might have been the one that we stopped at, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't like to swear on it. JDB269, which is your favourite season to camp in and why? It's autumn for him. Very, very good question, matey. Straight off the bat, I'll tell you which is my least favourite season to camp in, and that is summer. Although you get the great views, you know, the sunsets, the sunrises, time lapses and all that. It's too hot. You know, I'm a 51-year-old bloke. I sweat too much. There's too many flies. They stick to me, and there's too many people. I would have to say spring, closely followed by autumn, because they're very similar apart from the colours. But I would say spring, mid to late spring, 100%. Talias Travels, thanks for your advice, mate. You should do more of these videos. Keep the videos coming. Looking forward to tomorrow's vid. Mate, like I say, tomorrow's vid, in my humble opinion, is the best one I've ever made. Every time I think that in my own head, the video just crashes. But like I say, I saw the Great North Air Ambulance team in work. Those guys are phenomenal. And I got quite a lot of mountains done, sunset, sunrise. I hope you enjoy it, mate. I hope you do. Robert Whitworth, the bivvy he's getting is the Nortent Skull. Nortent Vern 1 was a tent that I was looking at until I decided on the QEU Stormstar. But I will have to have a look at that bivvy bag because I just use the OEX one, which is very tight for me. Wilkes Outdoors, you're very welcome, mate. Any tips for me, guys? Because, you know, although I am experienced and knowledgeable, I don't know everything, and every day is a school day, one of my favourite sayings. So if anyone's got any tips for me, please stick them in the comments. How do you know it's summer in Cumbria? The rain is slightly warmer. Correct. That is literally it. Camping Dan. Adam says, yes, I. Mr. Puscat. Meow. Did you take part in the charity camp on the Wainwrights? I don't believe I did. No, I did join Adam and Dan on a charity walk last year, and we did do a charity walk this year, the Heriot Way, but that was for one of Adam's subscribers who'd had a major operation. But the last charity camp I personally did proper charity was Cumbrian Way. Right, just let me see if these comments are messages. Let's try again. Chat filter, all messages. I think I've caught up with them. Right, guys, we've been going for an hour and 6 minutes, and it's been awesome to speak to you all. What time of day are we at now? Coming up 7:10. Apologies for the lazy start. That was me being an absolute idiot. Like I say, I'm thick as mince, and I wasn't sure how to start the live because this is the first time I'd scheduled a live. I didn't realise you just had to go and start a live. I thought it started itself, but we'll keep going. We're 1 hour and 7 minutes. We'll keep going till an hour and 10 minutes. Is there any last questions? Wilkes Outdoors, great to see you on here. This was good. Thank you, mate. Like I say, I am planning on doing it more regular, either a Friday night live or a Sunday night live. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for taking part, mate. Camping Dan, same goes for you and Adam. Adam in the wild, Camping Dan, the Crumble Man in the house. Yes, I'm here. Right. Hey, we've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds before I call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. Any last questions coming in? We can maybe have... we got one more kit, one last kit. It's the Mothman. Look at the little Mothman. Hello. Right, last couple of minutes. Any more questions or any more tips for me? Like I say, we haven't really had any tips. Egged up, nice to hear from you. Yes, see you later, mate. Like I say, I'm planning on doing more of these. And please do drop me a comment in tomorrow's video. Let me know what you think of it. Like I say, personally, I think it's the best video I've ever done. So it'd be great to get everyone's opinions on that. Right, guys, it doesn't seem to look like we've got any more questions coming in. So what I will do, I will bid you all good night. Cheers. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. It's been a couple of years since I've done one. And like I say, I'm planning on making it a much more regular feature. Hope you all have a good Saturday night and an awesome Sunday. Much love from the Cumbrian Yeti. Thank you.